Phil has COVID. Phil has COVID. Phil has COVID. Phil has COVID. Phil has COVID.
All right, welcome to the American Forked Podcast. We're where a deadly pandemic cannot stop us. We're a group of friends who get together once a week and record a podcast. And we grew up in very similar situations, and nowadays we are not so similar. However, despite our differences and Phil having COVID, we still get along pretty well. So, with me remotely, because we are all remote due to Phil having the deadliest disease on planet Earth since 2020, is Phil. Hi, Phil.
Don't make light of my disease.
I'm not making light.
It's serious, Jeff.
I'm shedding light on your disease.
Oh.
Don't joke about such a deadly thing, Jeff.
Okay. And the person who is heckling me from inside of a tin can is Jake?
It's me. Hey, how's my voice?
How about now?
Oh. Yeah. Sounds like you're in a fancy den.
Probably should have done that before.
That's better.
Well, I finally got my Bluetooth headset. And I was on that Bluetooth headset, which I figured probably wouldn't be a good idea.
Oh.
Sounds like it's a toilet headset, and I turned it off.
Yeah, you sounded like Duty.
That's duty.
Okay, well, Jacob, hello.
Hey, guys.
Can you keep our house for us and tell the listener how to contact us and all that fun stuff?
So we've got a website, AmericanForked.com. We also have social accounts at American Forked. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We also have a YouTube page that we are slowly releasing little snippets of some of our more popular episodes on. Just little 7 to 12 minute clips of us talking about cool things because we're awesome. And that YouTube channel is American Forked Podcast. We also have a phone number that you can call or text message. It is 385-DAD-0-MUG. And if we are a fan of the messages that you send us, we may or may not share them on the air or on the show when we record.
So you're saying if we're not a fan, we might not show it? Or if we are a fan, we might not show it?
If we do not like the message that you share with us, we will probably not share it.
That's harsh, dude. Super harsh.
We're harsh. We're picky with all of the voicemails that we get.
Like the coronavirus, we are picky on who gets it and who doesn't.
Yeah, that's how we do. And
okay, well,
yeah,
you got more?
Fine. Nope.
There's more houses to keep.
Oh yeah, patreon.com/American Forked. If you're familiar with Patreon, great. If not, then great. Go to it and check it out.
Sweet. I love it.
Well,
hey, that's great. My house is well kept now.
It's very well kept. I'm sure.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
It looks great. Looks great. Thanks, Phil, for all your input.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually found some amazing news from American Fork. This made me so happy. Number one, that I found news. And number two, it's an amazing story. So this is my title of this story. It's called Who the Hell Stole My AFing Pumpkin? So this is the title of the newspaper now. It says, Who stole the Great American Fork Pumpkin? Charlie Brown? ? So American Fork, Utah is where this story takes place. Not since Linus spent the night in a pumpkin patch awaiting the appearance of the great pumpkin has American Fork been so disappointed. Someone swiped a giant pumpkin which grew just outside the owner's fence. Dustin Batty and her husband estimated the stolen pumpkin weighed around 60 pounds before it vanished. And she said you could see that it was going to be a big one. Now, the best part of this story is the signs that the owner has put on their fence that says, one of them says, "You are a lowlife who stole our pumpkin. Burn in hell, you POS." And the other one in cups on the chain link fence says, "Who stole our pumpkin?" ? So violators have not been found, nor has the pumpkin. So I wanted to see what you guys thought about this. Have you ever stolen vegetables from somebody and their fence?
Nope. That would be like
yes.
stealing someone's children.
Yeah, and 60-pound children, apparently.
I did once.
Good job.
I didn't.
Ooh, what?
So my neighbor's garden had a lettuce leaf come grow under my fence, and I plucked it off.
Was this when you were in high school at your parents' house?
And I ate it. No, it was this summer.
When you reached under the fence, did the lettuce tear your arm off?
It didn't. No.
Like Plants versus Zombies?
No, I survived.
Okay, do you by chance have a 60-pound pumpkin at your house? Are you guys like overloaded on pumpkin pie right now?
No, but we have a lot of pumpkins that are still green in my garden.
Do you guys not find this story funny? I found it hilarious.
It is hilarious.
I think that it is. It's funny, but for the people growing their pumpkin, it sucks.
That is true.
People are proud of their big produce.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pumpkins take forever, and they're a little temperamental. You got to like keep an eye on them, rotate them a little bit. Otherwise, you'd be like, "Let's pick our pumpkin," and it's like a soupy, rotten mess underneath.
It's got maggoty flesh underneath.
Oh, so disappointing. So if it was a big, healthy pumpkin and someone just swiped that, I could see some harsh words coming their way.
Well, they did say POS,
yeah,
which is harsh for American Fork, especially.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I was just super psyched that I found a news story there and there, so that's what I got.
There was another an American Fork news story that I saw.
Tell us, Jake.
There's a company called, and I don't know what they do. It's a company called Clear, I think. XLEAR.
Yeah, I did look into that, and I saw that. They make a bunch of different products there. They're like a manufacturing company.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see their warehouse. You drive down I-15 through American Fork. It's big old green sign right there on the west side. But they I guess they opened 10 new jobs for they hired 10 Afghan refugees in their warehouse. So that's kind of cool.
Who did?
Yeah, I thought that was neat.
Yeah.
The company's name is Clear, but it's spelled XLEAR.
Mm-hmm.
X Clear?
Nope, it's just pronounced Clear.
X Clear.
No, Clear.
No. Say it again. Clear.
X Clear.
They went on
No.
1, 2, 3.
X. Clear.
Wait, didn't you say there was an X at the beginning?
Yeah, there is.
Oh.
But no, like it's instead of a C, it's an X.
Oh.
So, yeah.
It was the founder of the company's 4-year-old son wrote the word clear on a piece of paper, and the K looked like a X, so he used that.
Oh, that's cute.
That's pretty cute. I love it.
It's not true. I just made it up.
Well, very cool. On to Utah news. Utah news is blending slightly with national news today. I'm sure you guys heard that Bears Ear and Escalante has been re-expanded by Biden in a...
he did it already?
Yeah. So basically the story says, would President Donald Trump announce he was using the Antiquities Act to scale back the size of both Bears Ear National Monument and the Grand Escalante National Monument in 2017, it drew strong reactions, both from those who applauded the move and those who were appalled by it. I thought that was creative. And it says, so it stands to reason for 4 years later, as President Joe Biden expands both the monuments to their original size, like his big brother, Barack Obama, the reaction is going to be similarly strong, which he's right. It's creating a little bit of back and forth from people who are way in support of it and who are way against it.
Yeah.
So I have some funny input on this. Because last time when Obama declared it Bears Ears, that was about the time that we went backpacking down there, specifically to see like all the Native American ruins. And I think right before we had gone, Trump had reverted whatever Obama did. And when we got down, and when we got down there, and we're talking to the park ranger about it, we were like, "So what did the like changing Bears Ears or this designation, like what did it actually change?" And he's like, "Nothing changed as far as policy, as far as management. It's all the same people. It's the same money." He's like, "There's absolutely been no change." I'm like, well, didn't they like expand the land? He's like, it doesn't matter. The BLM is still managing it. It doesn't matter if it's bigger or smaller. It's just BLM managed land.
It seems like a whole bunch of it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. So like I heard Mitt Romney got on his soapbox recently and was like, "Oh, this is terrible, blah, blah, blah." Apparently he doesn't know either that it doesn't matter.
Well, I can read it to you of what was said exactly. Oh, wait, well, Phil dies. Let's get that recorded. So this is what Romney said. He said, "Yet again, Utah's national monuments are being used as political footballs between the administrations. The decision to re-expand the boundaries of Bear Ears and Grand Staircase Escalante is a devastating blow to our state, local, and tribal leaders and our delegation." But the other representative said something very similar. So to me, it's interesting that you have two state representatives who are like, this isn't a good idea. But then the president just does it anyways.
Yeah, well, and again, it's like people are saying that it's the federal government grabbing more land, but it's already federal land. It's already BLM managed land. That's the federal government. Like, so if they make it more protected or whatever, and it's the exact same people that are managing it, the exact same funding, like, I think it's probably just nonsense either way. I mean, really, when it boils down to it, I think those lands need to be given back to the state to be managed.
I thought that's what the Trump move was turn over a huge percentage of it to Utah.
No, he just essentially undid what Obama had done, which again was like a largely symbolic nothing. So it was managed by BLM. Obama turned it into a monument that's still managed by BLM. And then Trump turned it back into BLM only without the fancy monument name. And now Biden is turning it back into a fancy monument name. And I assume it's still being managed by the BLM. So, and when I say BLM, for those of you who don't know, in Utah, it's short for Bureau of Land Management. I almost said Black Lives Matter, but it's short for Bureau of Land Management. I was trying to remember what it was.
It's managed by Black Lives Matter, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Phil, you are a big supporter of BLM, right?
Yeah. I've actually always enjoyed BLM land, like using it growing up. Like, even though it is federal land, which I think should be managed by the state, I think the government has done a pretty good job of pretty much being like, this is public land, so use it, like, however you want. Like,
yeah,
go out.
You can graze, your cattle can graze on it. You can go camping.
Yeah.
Off-roading.
Go shoot guns, like, do whatever you want. Blow a microwave up out in the desert, or some propane bottles. like any redneck thing you want to do. Like if you ever watched like Mythbusters or any YouTube videos where people blow things up, almost a guarantee it's been done on BLM land.
Well, the holy grail of property is like 3 acres that borders BLM land, so that you could build something and do something on those 3 acres, and then basically BLM land is all yours because you can camp wherever, you can have a fire wherever. It's just like the wild west.
Yeah, you could
right?
just park your old cars in your backyard 400 meters down the road and shoot them
with your silenced illegal weaponry. No,
with your bump stocks.
Yeah, with your bumper stocks.
Yeah, I don't know how the law would look at shooting off of private property onto public land. Don't know what could you shoot? Could you own any weapon you wanted and fire it onto the? I don't know.
Let's test it. That's all I got to say.
Okay. So
all
anyway,
right, on to the next story. I'm going to play the Tyler right now. Okay, that's boring. Let's go on.
Okay, next
one.
Next one.
Okay, next
Squirrel.
one. All right. This is a messed up animal story for the week because you guys erroneously decided that I should be the host twice in a row. So we get 2 messed up animal stories. Okay?
Okay.
Agree to it. That's right.
We literally ask for it every time you host. So yes, we're okay with that.
You are fully at effect of my terrible stories. So this title is called Massive Golden Eagle Tries to Fly Off with an 8-year-old. And I don't know why all the stories come from Australia, but it's a messed up place down there. That's my conclusion. So in a place like Australia, just about everywhere you go, land, sea, or air, something can kill you. Spiders, snakes, sharks, everything. Go to the rainforest, same thing. So basically, half the reason why I chose this story is because this writer to me was hilarious. And there is a video associated with this article. So if you wanted to Google Golden Eagle tries to fly off with an 8-year-old in Australia, you can probably find this video. But the article just made me laugh and I don't know why. So I'm talking about golden eagles. They might look like big birds, but they might look like big birds, but they are giant, vicious dinosaurs that can fly. I mean, this thing that came down on this girl is huge. So apparently the girl was wandering around in a restricted area that was specifically designed to show off these big ass hunting birds. Ultimately, she was okay and just needed a few stitches. But the bird experts in the area said that if the bird was not trying to hunt, and if the bird was trying to hunt, she wouldn't have survived.
Wow.
Does that make you guys feel warm and fuzzy inside?
Yeah, makes me want to go to Australia even more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like up on my property. They're like hawks flying around all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always like, how hilarious would it be if one of those tried to pick up one of my kids?
Right? So funny.
Yeah. It'd be hilarious. And then they got stitches from the claws. Like what happened to this 8-year-old?
Yeah.
We're so funny. That
That'd be
really
so funny if that
would just be
happened.
amazing. So much fun. Do you have an 8-year-old, Jake?
I have a 6-year-old and a 10-year-old.
What's the biggest bird that lives in your house?
Yes.
You don't have a bird that lives in your. Okay, never mind.
No bird in my house.
All right. Well, listen. I'm sorry about that story. It was terrible. But we do have some real national news, right, Jake?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Well, you're more educated on me than me, so go for it.
Something I've been wanting to talk about for some while now. So it seems like America is kind of running out of everything. You go to any store, anywhere, or restaurant, and they're like, "Oh, we're out of that because of COVID. There's a shortage of whatever because of COVID." And it's like, I'm sure you guys have experienced that on multiple occasions, but it seems like it's like, what is, a lot of people say that there's a supply chain shortage. Some people say there's delivery somewhere in the supply chain, like delivery truck drivers or manufacturers or things like that. We've said in the past, we're talking about how, there's like fields and fields full of brand new cars that are unusable because they don't have microchips, and those microchips are not manufactured. They don't have enough of them, so they can't put them in these cars. And it's the same thing for like, you go to a store and you wanted to buy like, notepads or something at CVS, and they're out, and, and with that, also jobs, like every job, every fast food restaurant up and down the state of Utah is always hiring, and they're always understaffed. Just wondering what you guys' thoughts are on that. Okay, so these products that I want to buy have COVID. Is that what's going on?
No, that's not what's happening, Jake. Don't be stupid.
They're not.
Yeah, I
Okay.
hear that a big part of the problem is like they've talked about actually with this oil spill, right? They think that the oil spill was probably caused by one of the ships that were docked in the bay waiting to get in, probably drug its anchor over the oil line, which I think is funny that we just have like oil lines just on the bottom of the ocean uncovered.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
But especially in a like busy bay like Long Beach. But that's what they're saying is like they have all these ships anchored trying to get in, but they don't have like the personnel in the port to unload them. So everything's like crazy backed up. So that could be a big part of it for sure. I guess Walmart now is like ordering their own ships to try and get stuff over quicker, but that doesn't seem like it's going to help if the problem is like the port, and now the port's full of oil. So it's about to get a lot worse.
So
Yeah,
if you look, go ahead, Jake.
I was just going to say I've been to I can't even remember which coast it was. I think it was in California. And you look off into the distance, and there are just a bunch of cargo ships just sitting there waiting to come into the port because they're, I'm guessing, understaffed in the ports. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Well, if we look at it, the newest thing that's come up that I've heard on the news and stuff is these rolling power outages in China. Have you guys heard about that?
No.
They're like rationing. I don't know enough to be an expert, but I can tell you what's rumors and untrue. So, no, I don't know all the details, but from what I understand is they're having some power issues in China, and so they're actually rationing out power. So people are having power only certain parts of the day, and that goes for manufacturing facilities too.
So they're shutting people's power off.
They're not. They're cycling it. So like this area gets power during these hours. This area gets power during these hours. So like, let's say a 24-hour operation of LOL doll manufacturing is only running at 12 hours now, and so that's cutting the supply of that item down. But then I think it's a problem from there all the way across the shipping and transportation process. And I don't know. It's quite interesting though to see this.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was interesting is that we have government people telling us to start shopping for Christmas. Did you know, what's her name said that?
Who?
The vice president, I think it was.
Kamala?
That one lady.
Yeah. Kamala Harris said, basically, this is a real, or somebody, it might have been Jen Psaki. Isn't that the spokesperson?
The White House.
The White House spokesperson.
Press secretary.
I don't know. I remember it was a female person, which I know is totally binary of me, but it was a lady that said you should start shopping for Christmas now because the shelves are going to be empty this year, which is sketchy. In my opinion.
Yeah.
The press secretary said that?
Somebody that's a female human being said that. But you should Google it.
Yeah, we're covered there because I got home the other day because after being out at like I can't remember, came home. Stacy was in bed because she was sick, and there's a big old garbage bag sitting at the foot of our bed, and she's like, "Look, I wrapped Christmas presents already." I was like, "What?"
That's funny.
So we're covered. We're good.
I just think, how hard can it be to get 10 lumps of coal? I mean, it's not that big a deal.
Well, you might want 20, and that's going to be a problem.
Oh, because of global warming, it's going to be so cold? Is that what you're saying?
No, just there will be a shortage of coal.
Oh,
So
yeah.
You can find 10, but maybe not 20.
Well, just the Chinese manufactured coal. I
That's
think
true.
the American coal will be okay.
Yeah, this article that I read was saying that it costs like 10 times as much to ship things now to the U.S. from like Taiwan or whatever as it does to ship out of the U.S. into Taiwan. And so the imports are going down and they're way more expensive. So I guess that's good for potential U.S. manufacturing companies. But, is there a shortage of workers? Seems like there is.
So I can't find anything saying the press secretary said that, but there are a ton of news articles that are saying that.
Saying that who said it?
Are they female news
just saying
articles,
it,
though?
just saying that the supply things or blah, do your holiday shopping. I can't find like an example of a prominent person saying that.
Are any of the people that said it female?
They're all like news headlines. So if a news headline can be
Had a gender,
gendered,
would be female.
then yes.
Uh-huh. So I'm right.
Yeah.
That's all I needed to hear.
Oh, you're welcome.
Tyler would love to be on this episode.
I'm glad. I feel like I'm pretty lucky. Maybe it's just the age of my kids, but they are happy with anything. Like I could pick up sticks outside and paint them, and they'd be so happy.
Have you ever seen the?
Maybe I just don't give my kids very much. That's why.
Yeah,
They're probably not actually happy. They go cry to mom.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's interesting. So 5 days ago, Singapore Monday, I've got the video right here. It says Kamala Harris. I'll just read this subtitles to you. Yeah, it's Kamala Harris that said it.
Oh, Kamala.
If you want your Christmas toys for your children, you should buy them right now.
Ooh, that's
Well, that's a great way to scare the American people.
yeah.
You know what else is kind of sketchy? She's wearing this mask and you can't even see her face. And it's like, ooh, who is this?
It's a robot.
Okay, I'm going to turn on closed captioning so I can read it to you guys. The caution is that if you want to have Christmas toys for your children, it might now be the time to start buying them because the delay may be. Oh, they just caught it. The delay may be many, many months. So yeah, that was 5 days ago. It looks like there's like Singapore flags and United States flags. So she was probably in Singapore. So anyway.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah, I am right all the time.
Is she right?
I don't think so.
You don't think there will be a...
There's always
Bad enough
shortages
supply
of something.
I think there will be shortages of like the mainstream things like iPhones, iPads, like big ticket gifts that people might normally get, PlayStations, cars and trucks. But if you want like garbage stuff that like Jeff buys on the weekends, I think that's all going to be there.
The garbage that Phil gives to his kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dollar store menu.
Yeah. Exactly. And I don't know. I think it's an interesting thing. I'll tell you, in the construction world, we ordered a bathtub, I think 5 months ago, and it's going to be here pretty soon.
Maybe.
Question mark?
It's, yeah, I know, because the last update we got was, yeah, it's sitting off the coast in Florida. We're like, cool. When's it going to get here? Well, we're expecting that it'll be unloaded next week. Okay, well, when would it be here? Well, if it gets unloaded, it takes a week to get. It's just like there's no straight answers.
Yeah.
So,
well, my parents sold their trailer clear back in like February, I want to say, and they ordered a new one at the same time that was supposed to come in July. And they called the company in July. They're like, "Hey, where's our trailer?" And they're like, "Oh, we were going to call you and cancel your order." And they're like, "What?" And they're like, "We've got so many orders. Like, just the fact that you're calling us, we're just going to cancel it," or something like that. And
is this a camper trailer?
Yeah, like a camper trailer. So they order another one in July from a different company, and that has still yet to arrive.
Wow.
So
why
bad time to be buying a trailer, I guess.
No, unless there's massive shortages.
Unless it's one that's like on the floor of the lot or a used one.
Apparently you can't buy those either for some reason. They're
Really?
like, "Oh, can I have that one?" And they're like, "Oh, it's sold," or it's like for something specific. I don't know. Oh, someone was telling me about trucks. Like you go and there's like trucks in the lot, and you're like, "I want that truck," and they're like, "Oh, sorry, these are fleet vehicles only."
These are floor model.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So like fleet vehicles, like if you're a construction company, you need to buy 15.
Yeah, something like
trucks. That. They're kind of reserved for the higher paying customers or something.
Yeah, I don't know. But apparently it's just difficult to buy stuff, even if you have money and you want to buy it.
Yeah,
I mean, certain things, yeah.
I know the price of used cars, like your used car is at a premium right now.
Yeah.
If you want to sell it, you could probably get more money than you could have 10 years ago, right? If you had the car for that long.
Yeah.
Which is way interesting, because I don't know if it's ever happened like that.
No, yeah. I mean, cars are notorious for decreasing in value every mile you drive it, and continuously, right? They never go up.
Right.
It's weird.
And I actually have an extra vehicle that we like having on hand, and it serves different purposes, but we thought about selling it for that same reason, because I bought it for I got a good deal on it like 3 years ago, and I guarantee I could sell it for exactly the same amount of money I paid for it or more. And so
you're going to be a car flipper?
Well, no, the funny thing is, like, you drive a car for 3 years, 2 years, and you sell it for exactly what you bought it for. That's crazy.
Unheard of. Absolutely.
That's crazy. And when else is that ever going to happen? You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe having a car in another 2 years is going to be like, means you're a millionaire. I don't know. So I should just keep them.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, I know the supply chain thing has messed up a lot of stuff with construction, but luckily we've been able to manage it fairly well. But like, I don't know if I've told you guys this, we changed a process within our company where we asked the client for a huge draw check right when they sign a contract, because we order everything. We order their tile, we order appliances, we order light fixtures, we order hardware, everything, for two reasons. One, because it takes forever to get here. And the second thing is that they are running out of stock on everything. Yeah. If you wait 2 or 3 months on a big remodel to order all the tile when you actually need it, almost guaranteed something's going to be gone.
Yeah.
Something the client picked out is not going to be available. And it's a nightmare to manage it that way. So,
yep.
Anyway, very interesting. So on to the main topic for the night. And for the main topic tonight, we have decided to 100% capitalize on Phil and his highly contagious sickness.
Yep.
So we're following Phil from the beginning of his diagnosis, doing a daily recording of what's happened. We've been doing this for the last little while, and to see what's going on and what's not going on in his universe. And so let's take a listen to that.
Welcome to day 1 of the coronavirus update. We're all American Forked.
I'm joined tonight with Jacob. Hi, Jake. And joined with... Oh, there you are. Jeez. I thought you died.
Oh, I was muted.
Yeah, we'll get used to that. How you doing, Jake?
I'm doing good, and I feel great.
Good.
I'm good.
We'll get into that in just a second. And then we have the man of the hour. The reason we're remote is Phil. Hi, Phil.
What's up?
And for the listener, Phil was diagnosed with 2 COVID tests that he has COVID-19.
COVID-19.
Which is so 2 years ago, by the way.
I know. Now we're like 2 years later.
Yeah, all the cool kids are getting the COVID 2021.
Who even cares anymore?
Do you have a I guess they probably can't tell you if you have like a variant or whatever, right? It's just you have COVID.
Yeah, I don't think they do. When I was looking it up a couple weeks ago, I don't think they give you that information.
Well, hey, we're going to get into this kind of info, but I want to get like right down to like the very basics. Okay. So as of right now, Phil, what are your symptoms?
Right now, I don't feel horrible. I'd say I have a light headache, a little bit tired, a little bit winded. Fever is like 100 the last I checked, and I can't taste or smell anything, which is actually really fascinating.
Yeah.
I just drank a whole bottle of pure
tequila,
pure carrot juice, and I'm like kind of preparing myself to drink something gross, but it tasted like cold strawberry milk, kind of.
That's amazing, actually.
So I drank the whole thing, and then I drank this like Trader Joe's turmeric and cayenne juice.
Yeah.
And something else gross in there. Can't remember.
Ginger,
that's it.
Was it really? Yeah.
And I didn't even taste anything.
That's crazy.
So,
well, that's a good to lead into my line of questioning. So what was your very first symptom that you had?
I'd say just like tiredness, like fatigue, and probably like shortness of breath, like feeling like I was out of breath when I was up and at 'em.
And just to be clear, we're on day 2 or 3? I mean, it's day 2 of you knowing you have COVID, right?
Yeah, so it's been a little over a day since I've been tested, and a couple days, 2 or 3 days since I started to be concerned, I guess.
You started showing symptoms. See, I was around you when you first started getting symptoms, and I just thought you were out of shape and didn't sleep very well.
I did too. Like when I first felt it on Saturday, I was working up at my property and I had 2 hot dogs for lunch. And I remember telling the Great Spirit that, like when I was working after, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have had 2 hot dogs because it's like slowing me down. You know when when you eat too much and then like you do something physical right after and you're like, oh, like it's like a little harder to breathe. That's pretty much what it was like.
Yeah.
So hot dogs? You couldn't handle 2 hot dogs, Phil? You're not American.
Yeah. Well, normally I could, but well, turns out it had nothing to do with the hot dogs, I think. So
I think the hot dog had COVID.
Could have been.
I knew it. Okay, so the first symptoms you had were shortness of breath and tiredness, general fatigue, right?
Yeah.
So what was the third symptom that came on?
Probably just like achiness and chills.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about the time that I went to get tested. Well, I'd say even by the time I went and got tested yesterday, which was Monday, that's about it. It was just like fatigue and shortness of breath. But shortly after I got tested, like all these other symptoms piled on, which made me wonder if I like hypochondriacted myself into getting more symptoms. But it really did. Like a couple hours after I was tested, I was like, oh, I can't taste anything. But then I wondered too, like if I hadn't really been able to taste anything all weekend, but I just like wasn't really paying attention. I don't know.
Right. You know, that's a really good movie though, the Hypochondriacted, the one with the snake, right?
Yeah. Where the snake turns him into a witch.
I don't know. So all right. So what was day one like? Like the first day, even if you didn't know what was going on, but in hindsight you realize, oh, that's when I got COVID. Like that's when it started. What was the first day like?
I would say it was Saturday. I worked all day and I was tired.
And then you had 2 hot dogs and
I had 2 hot dogs and I was like, oh, and I kept working. And then I like gave up 2/3 of the way through the day. I just figured I was tired, like, you know, didn't sleep well or whatever. But,
okay, so then day 2, what was that like? That would have been Sunday.
Yeah, so I was just cooking a big lunch for you and Bolter's family. And
a COVID sandwich.
Yeah, and just hanging out. And I was tired, but I wasn't doing anything super physical either. Pretty much just lounging around. We were just hanging out, having a good time. But
luckily not making out. I'm glad we resisted on that day.
Yeah, the only day of our friendship.
Wait, where have I been?
No, you were there. What about the next day, Monday? What was Monday like? Like Monday's when you got tested. So what occurred that you're like, okay?
Monday is when I got tested. So I went to the urgent care in Provo at the hospital there. Waited for 3 hours. They got me in, tested me, and it was the old like crappy test where they stick that thing like halfway up your brain, and then I waited and waited. Then they sent me home, and then they called and said I had COVID. And the whole reason I'd gone into the doctor was because if I did have COVID, I wanted to get on some treatment. But when they called me, I'm like, so is there some treatment I can do? And they're like, nope, you just go home, blah, blah, blah. So then I get Googling on the interweb and find out there's this monoclonal, well, not find out, I knew about this monoclonal antibody thing. So I called my doctor and was like, hey, can I get this? And they said, yeah, we got to do a telemed visit. So the doctor called me and just talked to me, and he's like, yeah, you qualify. And he said, we're having great results with it. People tend to recover a lot quicker. So now I'm just waiting. They didn't call me today, but I'm hoping to get a call tomorrow to go get this treatment. I think it's an IV treatment where they give you this like antibody treatment that's supposed to attach to the proteins of the coronavirus to make it so that it can't get in your cells. So it essentially stops spreading, something like that. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
So if you get this monoclonal treatment, you don't die. But if you don't get it, you do die. Is that how it is?
Yeah, that's what they said. They said that's what the first doctor said. And they're like, no, there's no treatment. Pretty much you're just going to go home and die. So
you're going on the record right now saying that you're going to get the treatment and live. You decided not to die.
We'll see if they call me, and then I'll either be living or dying. That's correct.
So you qualify qualified to not die. That's good.
Yeah. And
That's
it's
really
all,
good.
and it's all thanks to my obesity. So thank
That you
goodness.
qualify for the treatment?
Yep. Thank goodness for those extra pounds. They do
Thank
like
God.
they do like
Thank God.
they do like
sorry.
a score. So it's like what race are you, what age, what sex, all that stuff, and all these indicators like add up your risk factor. And the shortness of breath was a big one. Like if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have qualified. But yeah, you add all these things up, and if your score is high enough, then you get this treatment apparently. And being vaccinated was a negative in this case. Like, so I lucked out there. And when I called the doctor, he's like, "So have you been vaccinated?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't." And he said, "Oh, that's good." Well, it's not good, but in this case, it is good because then you can get that treatment or whatever. And we laughed.
That's funny.
So yeah, because I'm unvaccinated and a 30-something white male
Who recently ate too many hot dogs.
Apparently, I can go do this thing. So it's the same treatment that Trump got and Joe Rogan got. And I'm sure a lot of other people, but people say you recover quickly. So we'll see how it goes.
Which is part of the reason I wanted to do this, is I kind of wanted to document the journey and maybe put a little excerpt into one of our episodes or something and just kind of day by day talk about it. So I don't want to go too far into it because we are going to talk multiple days, but this is a good kind of catch up. And, did you guys have anything else to say for this day one?
I'm surprised that you being a white dude, they weren't just like, "Sorry, you can't get it because we want you to die." So that's good.
Jesus, Jake. He's acting like it's like Auschwitz over here.
Well, no.
So obviously we were together last Friday, the three of us with Tyler, and you just wondering how you got it. How did you get the virus?
I probably got it from my grandmother. My grandmother had it. She probably got it from her daughter, who got it from her husband. They were all vaccinated. Now that isn't necessarily true. Like, I could have got it from anywhere. I could have got it from you. And Stacy could have picked it up from school or something, but probably not. Yeah. I probably gave it to Stacy. Sorry, Stacy. Love you.
Which, by the way, so people know, Jake's wife was diagnosed with COVID-19.
Yeah.
And Jake is she showing symptoms, Jake?
Yeah, she's been really worn down, had some just really tired nasal congestion, which I don't think is an issue, but headaches, yes. She had headaches.
Here's a question. Before the symptoms caught on, how many hot dogs did she eat?
She had 2, and she was like, I'm done.
I knew it.
So I think we've narrowed it down. I don't know why they haven't figured that out at this point. Turns out everybody had 2 hot dogs when they got
no, but yeah,
she's pretty much been, I mean, as bedridden as she can be. She worked from home the rest of the day and just been really tired. So yeah, she got tested. She tested yesterday, and then, or was it today? Yesterday. Today she got the result. So I went and got tested today. One of those rapid saliva tests.
Wait, rapid saliva test?
Yeah.
And it was negative?
Well, I don't know yet.
Well, it's not a rapid test.
Oh, you did the free one that takes, like, I did another one of those last night. So it takes like a day?
Yeah, where you spit into the thing and submit it.
Yeah.
So that was done. I did that about 5 o'clock today.
So I think that's it's called a PCR test. And I think that's not a rapid test.
Oh.
The rapid test, they give you the answer back in like 15 minutes, from what I understand.
Yeah.
And that's called what, Phil? An antigen test?
I think so.
Yeah, that's an antigen test, which I don't know, but I've heard it's wishy-washy. That's not quite as accurate as the PCR, the one that you took. So that'll be interesting to see, because I might be interviewing 2 people with COVID and getting into all the guilt that you feel for not getting vaccinated and all that. So
Jeff thinks he's not going to get it.
I guarantee I'm not.
Stacy was like, so are you going to think you might have to sleep on the couch tonight? And I was like, why? She said, because I have COVID. And I said, well, I want to get it. So
it's time, huh?
It's what?
It's time to get it. We've been waiting for like 18 months now.
Right. I mean, yeah.
Here's the thing. I swear, and I've told you guys this personally, and maybe I said it on the podcast too, but I swear I've gotten it at least once before.
Yeah.
I did get tested one time, and it did not come back positive, but there's 2 other times that I got sick during this whole thing that I was like, yeah, that makes sense. One time in particular. So I feel
you think you got COVID before it was cool.
Yeah, I like their first album.
Well, we'll find out here in 3 or 4 days. So the interesting thing, like I said, is I didn't develop any symptoms till at least a week after I would have been exposed. So clock's still ticking.
Yeah.
This episode will be Phil has COVID, and next one will be Jeff does too.
Or Phil's dead.
And now Phil's dead.
Yeah. Well, we want to just, I think it'd be fun to document this because it is quite interesting. And we'll get into details of like our contact and what happened and stuff. But it'll be interesting to hear what your test results come back with tomorrow, Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll get a text message from the medicals that say, now go download the app so we can track all of your information.
Yep.
And that's when you'll find out if you have COVID. We can't just text you the answer. You have to get the mobile app.
Oh, they should email you if you put an email address in.
They won't email.
Oh.
So you need text. It says the testing, like the bottom of the sheet, the instruction sheet said, we won't call you. We will text you a link to download the mobile app. And in that mobile app is where you'll have to find out if you have it.
Oh, and that's how they track you the rest of your life and everyone you came in contact with. And
sincerely, Jeff Zuckerberg.
I think the problem is actually Jake went to the NSA data center to get his COVID-19 shot. You probably should have just gone, or your test, I mean. You probably should have just gone to Walgreens.
It reminds me of that. Remember that Arrested Development where they were showing how they caught Martha Stewart, and it was like they threw this free scrapbooking party for celebrities, and they were like, here's where you put all your bank accounts, and here's where you put all your this and that.
I did not remember that.
Oh, that's what that made me think of.
Good story. You should tell it at parties.
Okay. You're welcome.
Okay. We'll do the same thing tomorrow and figure out if anyone's dead and if anyone else has COVID.
Sounds good.
Okay. Good night.
Good night, American Fork.
This is day 2 of the coronavirus update. We're all American forked.
Day 2 of what the hell is COVID anyway?
Day 2 of COVID really exists.
Breaking news with Jacob got tested yesterday for the COVID-19. And Jacob?
Drum roll, please. I already divulged it. I did not test positive. I tested negative, potentially false negative for COVID.
That's interesting. And it said that on
false
the test.
Negative.
I've heard from multiple people that filling up that little vial with 2 milliliters of spit, is hard to do. Have you either of you guys ever done the
so
spit
the
thing?
last spit one I did, you had to fill like a full vial up, and the one I just recently did was like you just had to fill it like a little bit higher than it already was. So I think there are two different spit tests floating around.
Why would there be different ones? Like maybe the testing devices they use are less sensitive, and so they need more saliva.
I think they're just different tests. Like different companies make them or something.
Yeah. Because I don't have a hard time producing saliva. So
if there's one thing I know about you, it's that.
If there's one thing I'm known
saliva.
for, is I am a saliva producing machine.
So Phil, what do you produce a lot of? I mean, how are you feeling today?
I probably feel about the same I did yesterday. And like yesterday, I took a bunch of ibuprofen, took a nap early afternoon, and slept most of the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's about time for bed again.
Would you say you're on the mend?
It's hard to tell because my fever keeps going up and then coming down. And I feel a little better, but then it goes up again.
Oh, so it's like, it's kind of like fall in Utah. It's like,
it's like fall in Utah.
No. Oh, what? No, it gets warm.
But I'm still, I'm still running a fever it fluctuates between like 99 and 101 and a half.
Your temperature?
Yeah.
How many hot dogs did you have today?
0.
Okay.
I had some wonton soup and some spaghetti.
Mm-hmm.
Wonton soup, that seems like it would be healthy.
Medicinal.
Yeah. I've eaten tons of healthy stuff because I can't taste it.
Stuff that you don't like.
That's
what I told Stacy when she lost her taste. I was like, now's the time to eat like all the whatever healthy stuff you don't like.
Kale, here we come.
Just blend up some kale and broccoli and turmeric and just drink it straight.
Yeah.
So this taste is still gone? Like you're not tasting anything at all? Or like little bit? Or
it might be coming back a little. I could taste the sauce and the spaghetti like a little bit, I would say.
Like the acidity of it, maybe?
And I had one of my pickled eggs that was pickled in like pure habanero sauce. And I could faintly feel like a burning sensation.
What about the rest of your family? Is everyone doing fine, Phil?
Yeah, everyone's fine.
No symptoms?
No.
What about you, Jake? Any symptoms with the kids or with yourself?
Nobody's showing any signs of being sick at all, except Stacy.
Yeah.
She's still kind of has a hard time getting out of bed and not being like exhausted,
Mm-hmm.
So,
like physically getting out of bed, is it a physical thing or like a?
Yeah, physically, she just is tired,
sore and tired. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, how long have any of the doctors told you, Phil, or anyone you've talked to, how long this is supposed to last?
Not really, but from what I gather online, it can last anywhere from a couple days to a couple weeks. I was reading today that the loss of smell and taste can last several weeks or months, and some people have even like never got it back so far. So that was interesting. But,
I'm sure you'll get it back.
Yeah. Well, I'm going tomorrow morning for that monoclonal antibody treatment.
Oh, cool.
So I'm hoping that speeds things up.
Yeah. That's cool. And what, you're going in first thing in the morning tomorrow?
Yeah, first thing in the morning. I guess it's an IV. It takes 2 hours. So I have to sit there for 2 hours while they put this stuff in me.
That's all right. You have Clash of Clans, right? On your phone?
Probably.
Okay, you'll be fine.
Book.
Oh, what are you listening to?
Like book 6 of that one that I gave you.
Oh, yeah.
The Expanse.
I haven't started that yet.
Yeah.
Okay, well, any other pertinent information you feel like we should know? Like you were super productive today, or you slept 17 hours, or how much did you sleep?
I probably slept, 3 or 4 hours in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought you were going to say last night. I was like, you need to get some sleep.
Yeah.
No, I slept last night too. Sleep hasn't been a problem at all. The problem, I would say, is like just being sore from laying down so long.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I get up and move around and stuff, but I still don't really feel like getting going or doing anything, you know?
Yeah. Are you still having body aches and soreness?
Yeah, I'd say so once the ibuprofen wears off. The ibuprofen does a great job of eliminating it. And then it wears
Any
off.
weird cravings or anything?
Like peanut butter and ice cream?
Yeah. Pickles and,
No.
Laundry detergent?
No, I have been eating a lot of like spicy foods though, because it like I can taste it better than other things. And I probably,
they say
I probably
I've heard
put too much
spicy
salt.
food is really good for your immune system.
Mm-hmm. And your colon.
Yeah.
And your colorectal areas.
It's really good at burning additional holes in your body.
Oh, I've heard about that. But I have heard that in Mexico they have almost zero. What's the cancer you get on your bum? Colon cancer. Yeah, colon cancer. They have almost zero because of their diet.
Oh, interesting.
So you can spice those cancer cells right out your bum hole. All right. Well, Jake, any updates on your end? It sounds like things are not going like you thought it was. Did we think you were going to have COVID? I thought you were anyway.
I was kind of anticipating a positive result when I got the text. So I got the text message from Intermountain Healthcare that said, click this link to go to the website. And it's actually different than what the instructions of the test said, where I would have to download a mobile app. In this case, I just clicked the link to go to a website, put in my information, and then my name and my last name and my birth date, and then it gave me the results.
This sounds kind of messed up. It sounds like we wanted you to have COVID. I'm sure most people listening would be like, you guys are pretty messed up, which isn't untrue.
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't want to have it, but from what it sounds like, from what I've heard in many cases, doctors have said that natural immunity from getting it and having the antibodies is the best cure for not getting it again in the future.
Yeah.
I wanted to get it.
So it's, I'll be the first one to say I've never been scared of getting the virus.
Yeah.
But I think it seems like it would be beneficial to have the antibodies
right
in my body.
I thought
maybe you do already.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
possible I do. I haven't had any antibody tests done.
You can go. They've got those test centers, and they do it for $75. You can test your antibodies.
Yeah, I can do that.
I thought for sure I was one of the people that had already had it or were immune to it, but I guess not.
Nope.
So, but yeah, if I didn't have it, I wanted to get it. So, not really worried about that.
I thought the option was vaccine or death.
Yeah, well, those are two options, but the third option is vaccine and death.
Well, like I was saying, they have this treatment, which they say is really successful, but it's a lot harder for you to get it if you have been vaccinated.
Mhm.
So it's becoming more apparent that in addition to vaccination, there's also some pretty good treatment options. But a lot of people are still dying, apparently.
Yeah. Is this a trial thing that you're doing, this treatment?
It's not a trial. It's a real thing. Like I said, it's the same thing Trump did. Joe Rogan did it. It's like
it's good.
It's like a legitimate scientific thing. Like when I asked the doctors about it, they're like, "Oh yeah, we do that, and it works great." It wasn't like, "Oh, that's some dumb thing you heard on the internet." Like there's a big page on the state's health department website talking about it, what it is, how you get it, how you qualify. So it's like a legit thing. So we'll see how it goes.
The only thing that's confusing to me then, why would they disqualify somebody that had the virus or the vaccine then?
Well, it's not that you're disqualified, but having a vaccine means you have to have like more points on this scale. So like I had like 6 points, but if I had the vaccine, I had 6 points and I needed 4.5 to qualify. But if I had the vaccine, I would have those 6 points, but I would need 8.5 to qualify. So I didn't.
So essentially, it's saying that you probably need the treatment less if you've been vaccinated. So you're less likely to.
Right. Well, yeah, because you're less likely to die from it in theory.
Yeah.
So. But if I had been vaccinated and I had diabetes and cancer or something and enough points added up, then I would still qualify to get it. So, they're saying, I guess they're doing about 50 people a day in the state. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, maybe you guys will all turn into zombies.
Maybe I'll just have super blood now. Whenever people get COVID, they'll just like bite my wrist and suck the blood out, and then they'll be good.
Yeah, that seems safe.
Seems legit.
Yeah.
So I'll share the information from my test result that says that obviously, so the name of SARS-CoV-2 was not detected in the value of the test result, and it said not detected equals negative. This means that the coronavirus was not found. This result usually means you don't have COVID-19 if you are tested 7 or more days after coming in contact with someone who had it. Rarely it could mean you were one of those who tested false negative. For the safety of yourself and others, if you have symptoms, even if you've tested negative, please consider yourself as positive. Isolate yourself 10 days after symptoms started, 24-hour fever-free without use of medication. So, yeah, maybe I'm false negative.
The last part of that doesn't make any sense to me. If you are showing symptoms, consider yourself positive, then why do we get tested?
Because it's possible that I was false negative.
I know, but you see what I'm saying? They're saying if you have symptoms, consider yourself positive and keep yourself away from others.
Well, yeah, if the test comes back negative, but you can't smell anything and you are achy and tired and can't breathe very well, then it makes sense that it's just a false negative.
And I get that, but I guess what I'm saying is, in my opinion, why don't we just not test and just base it off of that data?
Symptoms only.
It would save a lot of money.
Yeah.
And saliva.
But Jake's got enough for everyone.
I'm dehydrated after that test from yesterday.
Jake, if I get a COVID test, can I buy some of your spit?
I'll sell my saliva. I've got like 7 vials worth.
Have you heard of people doing that, like buying urine for a clean drug test?
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
Sean, can I score some of your piss?
Jake, can I score some of your saliva?
Yeah. Shout out to, as a reference to Old Orange County, Jack Black. Sean, can I score some of your piss?
All right. Well, I think this is good for our day 2 of the, what did I call it? The coronavirus shit show? No.
Coronavirus does exist. What the heck's up with Phil's health?
WTF, Phil's health, COVID-19 2021 extravaganza.
COVID 22. 21, yeah.
This is day 3 of the coronavirus update. We're all American forked.
Welcome to COVID Update 2021 of the 19 virus 2019 COVID variation CBR12. Is that all accurate? I think it is. Phil, how are you feeling today?
Today sucked. A lot.
Was it worse than yesterday?
Yeah. I got up and went. I felt great when I got up, and I went to the hospital to get my monoclonal antibody treatment.
Yeah.
And I felt fine throughout the treatment. And then I went home, and then I was talking to my wife, and I was like, today's like the last good day for weather. We better get down to the property and roll our tents up and bring our trailer home. So we decided last second to drive down there. And we get down there, and I'm like rolling up tents and dying. like just like bending over to like do little things.
Yeah.
And the whole time
That
my
sucks.
and my wife is like standing there with her arms folded, like, work those lungs. And it sucked. And then we got home. I'm like, man, I feel even worse now. So then I laid down for a nap and felt even worse when I woke up. But probably like an hour ago, my fever broke again, and I feel a lot better right now. But it's been like a roller coaster like that, like the last 3 or 4 days. It's like I'll have a fever, then it'll break, and then I'll be like, oh, I'm getting better. And then it comes back. So it hasn't been very fun. I was hoping for the fun COVID.
What
That
have you
skipped
heard
you,
about
huh?
the fun COVID?
Huh?
What have you heard about the fun COVID? What are the symptoms of that?
Well, just like little to no symptoms.
Yeah, you didn't get that one.
That's what I thought I was going to get.
But you got everything done at the property?
Yeah. Well, not everything, but what I wanted to before it snows. So
That's way good. Tell us more about the treatment. What was that like? You went to the hospital. There was armed guards with full hazmat suits. What was the treatment like?
So that's the funny thing. Like, that's kind of how you picture when you have COVID and you go to the hospital, that everyone's like freaking out, but nobody cares. They're like, oh, would you like to wear some gloves? You know, the lady at the front's like, have you had any symptoms? Yes, I have. Oh, okay. You can wear gloves if you want. I'm like, nah. And then
I would just pick my nose with the gloves and then touch things.
Yeah.
So no.
But I go in
my face with the gloves.
But I go in, the nurse was super nice. She's like, so you haven't been vaccinated? I was like, nope. And she's like, well, that's probably why you got qualified. She's like, I don't know why it matters. I was vaccinated and I got COVID and I was out for 2 weeks. And she just sat there. She gave me the IV and sat there and talked to me for like a half hour because, like, to make sure I didn't have an allergic reaction or something. And then,
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
And it was an IV, right?
It's an IV, yeah. It's like, there's like 2 parts. The first one was like the medicine, and then they flushed that out with like saline or something. And then after they after she administered it, then I just laid there in the dark for another hour, I guess, while they check on you. And then they come back and they're like, oh, you're still alive, so you can go home now.
That's interesting. So you have just the one treatment, or do you have to go back and do this a couple times, or how does it work?
You just do it one time.
Ooh.
And apparently you're supposed to recover very quickly afterward. So I'm hoping tomorrow I'm feeling better.
Yeah, and I'm not a doctor, but I would recommend you're sick, maybe don't go do hard work out in the mountains at your property.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just an idea.
Is it too late to make that recommendation, Phil?
It is.
Dang.
I can write you a prescription for laziness.
I'm already getting it tomorrow. The new Metroid is coming out, so
you're like, you are to Metroid as Beagle is to
Twitter.
Finish the sentence. No, Dune.
Dune. Speaking of Dune, did he even invite us to go see it? Didn't it come out already?
I was wondering the same thing. I didn't look into it, but I could find out right now.
Phil, we're not vaccinated.
Did the movie come out?
So why would he invite us if we're not vaccinated?
No, October 22nd.
Oh, it hasn't come out yet.
No.
Oh, that's weird.
Isn't it?
Because I thought it had come out and he didn't say anything. Maybe he got let down.
That'd be so funny. It just bombs so bad in his universe that he doesn't even tell us. Just pretends it never happened.
Do you think that he would, if it sucked really bad, he would admit it?
I think he would hang on to one part of the story. It was terrible, but the visuals were just like the book or something like that. Or but the storyline was really good. Or so-and-so's acting was amazing. There'll always be one aspect of the movie that's amazing.
Those shoes that they wore were out of this world.
Exactly. The Sand people were a bit smarter than the Star Wars ones. Well, Jake, what about your wife? Is she alive? Did she go up into the mountains and do hard labor, or what's going on with her?
Yes to the first and no to the latter. She did not. She stayed at home and got a whole bunch of work done in bed somehow. As she
Jake, this podcast is PG-13.
Right.
The bed work to yourself.
She is still sick, and she said she feels like she's on the mend, but she has her eyes hurt. I'm assuming it's pressure. I don't know if it's sinus related or
from looking at a computer screen all day doing work.
Possibly, yeah.
Does what is she doing for treatment, if anything?
Nothing.
I'd say treatment is also taking it easy, and
she's not taking any certain medicines. We were going to see how today and tomorrow went to see if maybe she should get that Mahusna Duji clonophono treatment, but since she feels a little bit better today, she may be on the mend.
Well, I just want you to know that I went to IFA today, so you know what I mean. If you need the hookup, I'll hook you up, bro.
If you need some horse drugs,
send me one of those big old. What was it? A liquid or a pill? I don't even know.
It's a paste that you have to take nasal-ish. Nasal cavity.
Nasalized.
Yeah, you have to nasalize it with a caulk gun from Home Depot. But anyways, I'm glad to hear she's doing okay.
Yeah, she's doing good. Yes. That is all.
Okay. Well, you guys will chuckle along with Colleen. Today I was very tired, but I don't feel like I was sick at all. I'm just tired. I had 3 hot dogs.
Oh,
and
3?
then next thing I knew, I'm just kidding. I had 0 hot dogs. I was pretty tired today, and I drank more coffee, and then it was fine. So I don't think it's COVID, but.
And then you went to IFA.
And then I went to IFA just in case. And I went to Home Depot to get a new caulk gun. I don't know. I've looked up that ivermectin for the horses, and I've seen a picture of it, and it looks like a tube of caulk that you get from Home Depot or Lowe's.
Really?
And that's why I tease about it, because I don't know how you give it to them. I guess you give it orally, and it probably really is some kind of like caulk gun that you administer it to the horse with. But I don't know. We should probably have Mr. Ed on or something.
Or maybe it goes on the other end.
Yeah. Wait, what other end?
Huh?
In the nose. That's right.
Yeah.
So you were tired today.
Yep. But I don't feel like it was a sickness at all.
But didn't feel winded or anything?
No. I mean, not any more than my usual out of shapeness, but
yeah.
No, I felt fine. I was running up the stairs, and I drove around and dropped kids off, and I even lifted some stuff with Colleen, moving furniture around, and I wasn't like weirdly winded. You know what I mean?
You went and rolled up some tents.
Yeah, but I didn't eat any hot dogs.
No hot dogs.
No.
So now, you're good.
I think I'm good. But now, for a question for you: were these hot dogs all beef, or they like what kind of hot dogs were they?
They were brats.
Okay, so I'll stay away from the brats.
I had some sausage tonight.
Like I said, Jake, it's PG-13.
We had breakfast for dinner, and we had maple sausage with pancakes. So I'm going to get COVID.
Well, I'm glad to hear that no one has died, even though Phil thought he was today. Any other pertinent information you feel that we should know as observers of the COVID-19 process from conception to destruction within Phil's body?
How much sleep did you get today?
I slept like 2 hours in the afternoon, which has been pretty much what I've been doing like the last 3 or 4 days.
How much are you sleeping at night?
A good 9 hours, I'd say.
Wow.
Yeah, my taste is like starting to come back, but it's like only at like 15% back, so everything kind of tastes gross.
Tastes like ketchup?
Everything's like kind of metallic.
Mm-hmm.
Before it was like this cool, like tasteless paradise. Now it's like this weird metallic quasi taste.
Yeah, before you could imagine what something would taste like, but now there's no imagining because it's tarnished by vinegary metallicness.
Yep. Exacto.
How do you know so much about the metallic tasting thing going on, Jake?
Well, I've had situations where my taste was weird, and it like everything tastes like ketchup, like really vinegary. But the metallic taste I've never had.
You know what a good example is like, you know, have you ever gone to the dentist and got numbed up, and then afterward you like can't feel your mouth or tongue?
Mm-hmm.
It's like kind of you eat something that's like kind of metallic. That's kind of what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad that no one's died yet. Thanks, guys, for the update.
Okay.
Love you.
Love you.
Day number 4 of the coronavirus update. We are all American Forked.
Welcome to COVID Palooza 2021, where we update ourselves and the world on Phil's medical condition and his proprietary doctor confident information, something like that. Phil?
Yes.
Are you alive?
I am so far.
How can you prove to us that you're alive?
Can't you see my face corner?
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just verify with the listener. Phil's alive. He's not talking and dead at the same time.
Still alive.
Good. So how are you feeling?
I felt a little better today, but not like I was hoping to feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Still got to about 2:00 and then was like, oh, going down for a nap again.
Oh, really?
And slept the rest of the afternoon again. So
Have you had any hot dogs or hard labor in the mountains?
Nope.
Okay, that's good.
Didn't do anything today except play Metroid Dread on the Switch.
Oh, you got it today, huh?
Which
I
came
saw
out
that it was
today.
out.
Yeah.
Where did you get it?
You just get it through the Switch
GameStop?
store.
Oh, you can buy games. You don't have to get the hard games.
Yeah, you just get them online, which I've found is better because the Switch games are like the size of an SD card. And so they're really easy for kids to grab and disappear. Yeah. So
was it $50?
Yeah, 50 or 60. So it's like, I don't know if you remember the old like Super Metroid. It's like a side scrolling adventure or whatever. That's what it is. It's like kind of a remake of the old style of playing. So it's been way fun because the other Metroids have been like 3D nonsense. So
throwback. You got to throw back.
It's
to
a
the
throwback
original.
and a new back.
Yeah, it was a huge move when they did that with Mario. But Super Mario World or whatever the N64 one actually became really, really popular.
Yeah, but it's also popular amongst another generation, I feel like.
Yeah. It was like the people who grew up with Mario introduced that Mario. They were just having young kids getting into games.
Exactly.
Passed down.
So this has been Video Game Palooza 2021. Just kidding.
Yeah. Phil's alive still.
Yeah, but that's good. You're getting some video gaming in. I'm sure that there's a lot of people that spent 2 weeks at home with COVID that did some video gaming. I mean, I'm sure that you're not the only one.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm not. I was really hoping not to be in the situation I'm in. I was hoping to be one of the people that just was like lightly sick for a day or two or whatever, but it's been pretty persistent.
You've got the full Monty, it sounds like.
Yeah.
You did not get the light version. You got
not the half Monty.
No, you did not get the half Monty or the quarter Monty. You got the full Monty.
Yep.
So, Jacob, how is your wife doing? Did she get out of bed today?
She did. She wore outside clothes.
Wow. What does that mean?
Like something other than like a t-shirt and yoga pants.
Oh, like you're going out to the store type clothes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought when you said that, I thought she's wearing a parka and boots and was really cold inside your house or something.
No, she's doing a lot better. The best she's felt since she was, starting to go downhill. We actually went to Midway today for a couple hours, and I worked from there.
Cool.
You have service up there?
Yeah, well, yes. Cell phone service, full 5G, actually.
Oh.
I just used my phone as a hotspot, connected my computer to it.
And the arsenic in the water doesn't affect your hotspot?
No, the arsenic is not a negative impact on the ability to get the internet in my cabin.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
So no symptoms on your end, Jake?
None. I'm surprised. I think I either have the antibodies or a superhuman immune system. Probably the first.
And the second.
And the both, yeah.
Because you are superhuman. Okay, well, I'm fine. Turns out yesterday I was tired. I just needed more coffee because, as I mentioned, I'm addicted to caffeine.
Okay.
So
that is a thing.
Yeah. I don't think there's a test for that or a cure other than just more coffee.
Right. Hi, my name is Jeff. I'm addicted to caffeine. Hi, Jeff.
It's not a problem.
I can stop whenever I want.
I can stop when I want to. Well, that's good. Is there any more updates? Phil, what symptoms are you having? What are your taste buds telling you?
The taste buds are coming back a little more. I'd say they're at like 20%.
What did you taste today?
Some chili, some Indian food.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
Was it like slightly metallic tasting, or?
Yeah, it's a little less metallic and just like really faint.
Or like plastic, or maybe like a really thin tin.
Like if you plug your nose while you're eating, it tastes like that.
Okay.
So did you eat more turmeric and lose your friends juice, like the turmeric and ginger and
no, I'm all out. I've
garlic.
I've been drinking fresh grape juice. That's about it.
Still got from your backyard grapes.
Oh yeah, Crystal's bottled like 5 more gallons since then. Literally.
Wow,
that's good.
Yeah,
that's great. Well, I think that's a decent update. Anything else you guys want to communicate about COVID and the like?
No.
I'll do an evaluation that you sound a lot better, Phil.
Do I?
You don't sound like you're going to kill someone or be killed by something.
Were you waiting on anything from your monoclonal antibody treatment thing? Was there something else you were waiting, like result, or
no?
Is it just you get it done and then you hopefully heal quickly, kind of thing?
Yeah, it's supposed to help you fight the virus. It's like does something to the virus, something to your immune system.
So your superhuman name now is Monoclonal Man?
Yep, Monoclonal Man.
Super antibody dude.
Yep.
Okay, well, we'll continue this update and see if anyone dies.
Day 5 of the coronavirus update. We're all American Forked.
So anyway, yeah, it's Friday night. It's almost a week to the day since I noticed getting any symptoms. Had my treatment yesterday, like I had said in our little doodad, and I feel a little bit better today. So I'm hoping I'm on the way out. I'm definitely disappointed that I'm one of the people that like gets it, not just gets it, but like gets what I would call like the classic version of coronavirus. Right. You know, I didn't get like a little cold or tired or whatever. I got pretty much all the symptoms except for coughing. I haven't really had an issue with, but the shortness of breath is the one that like I probably would have gotten along fine without it. Like would have still gone into my shop and worked, but it just kind of put me down for the whole week. So,
what version of coronavirus of COVID did you want?
I wanted the one where it was like, oh, you're positive for COVID, and I was like, oh, I don't feel anything.
Well,
because my body's so amazing.
If your coronavirus was a car, what model would you have gotten? Was it the SHO? Was it leather seats?
It's probably like the Honda Civic or the Toyota Camry.
Yeah,
I probably got the Toyota Camry of coronavirus.
That makes sense. So like nothing really special, but like it did what it needed to do.
Yeah, like it's the one that most people get.
It's not like
it's the least desired, right? It's the most popular, but the least desired.
Right.
Yeah. So it's probably a gold color, like
Yeah, like a gold Camry is my coronavirus.
With like the plastic hubcaps, doesn't have the aluminum wheels.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
But Phil, you're going to get where you need to go. I promise you that, and it's reliable.
Yeah, I'm not worried. It's a Toyota, so
It'll get you from C to D.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't die in a Toyota like you can die in a McLaren, right?
Yep.
As the old saying goes. All right. Well, this has been the American Fork Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. We love you. And I promise you that you will not contract COVID from listening to this podcast.
Maybe.
Maybe, Phil says.
Probably will.
Cough right into the mic.
Put your nose right in that headphone and take a big whiff of this.
Oh, Phil, I
Good
just smelled
night.
it.
Oh, dude, brush your teeth.
I can't smell it, so.
Phil has COVID.